You know that feeling when you're at a party surrounded by people having the time of their lives and you're just observing, like you're watching a nature documentary about a species you don't quite belong to? Yeah, that's not social anxiety. Well, okay, maybe it's a little bit of social anxiety, but here's the thing nobody tells you. Some personality types are so rare that statistically, you might go your entire life without meeting someone who truly, deeply gets you. And no, I'm not talking about being not like other girls or thinking you're special because you listen to obscure indie bands. I'm talking about actual, scientifically documented personality patterns that affect less than 2% of the population. So, grab your emotional support beverage because we're about to find out if you're genuinely rare or just dramatically average, like the rest of us. All right, let's dive right in. Sign number 7. You experience existential boredom on a regular basis. Now, most people get bored when there's nothing to do. You get bored when there's everything to do, but none of it feels meaningful. You could have Netflix, 3 unfinished books on your nightstand, a phone full of apps, and a friend literally texting you to hang out, and still you feel this weird, persistent emptiness. It's like your brain is hungry, but nothing on the menu looks the slightest bit appetizing. This isn't just a bad mood. This isn't depression. This is what psychologists call existential boredom, a state where your mind fundamentally craves depth, purpose, and genuine stimulation that surface-level activities just can't provide. Studies show that only about 1.5% of people experience this regularly. The rest, they're perfectly content scrolling through TikTok for 4 hours. Meanwhile, you're over here questioning the very nature of consciousness while waiting for your coffee to brew. If this sounds painfully familiar, it's because your brain literally operates on a different frequency. And honestly, that's both a gift and a curse. Next up, sign number 6. You absorb other people's emotions like a sponge. Ever walked into a room and immediately felt the tension, even though everyone was smiling and making small talk, or felt completely drained after spending time with someone who was secretly stressed out, even though they never said a single word about it? If you're nodding along, welcome to the world of being a highly sensitive person, potentially with mirror touch synesthesia traits. Put simply, your brain's empathy circuits are cranked up to 11. Here's the science. Most people have a normal amount of what are called mirror neurons, the brain cells responsible for empathy, but a very small fraction of the population, roughly 1 to 2%, has significantly more active mirror neuron systems. This means you don't just understand emotions, you feel them physically in your own body. That friend who's secretly anxious, you'll start feeling a knot forming in your stomach. That stranger who's genuinely happy, you might feel that warmth spreading through your chest. It's like being an emotional Wi-Fi router that picks up everyone's signal, whether you want to or not. It's an incredible tool for understanding people on a deeper level, but it's absolutely terrible for crowded spaces and tense family dinners. And that brings us to sign number 5. You have conversations with yourself, and they're actually productive. I'm not talking about the occasional, where did I put my keys muttering. I mean full-blown internal debates with complete counter-arguments, devil's advocate positions, and sometimes even different mental voices for different perspectives. If your inner monologue sounds less like a simple narrator and more like a podcast with multiple hosts, you might have what's called dialogical thinking. Most people think in a single stream of consciousness, a linear path from A to B. But rare personality types often think in dialogues. They're essentially running multiple perspectives simultaneously. Here's a wild fact. Research from the University of Nevada found that only about 30 to 40% of people have a consistent inner monologue at all. But having a dialogical inner experience, a conversation, that's even rarer. This is why you can argue both sides of almost any issue so effectively. It's why you often play devil's advocate, not to be difficult, but because you genuinely see the other side. It's why making a big decision can feel like you're hosting a championship debate tournament inside your own skull. Your brain isn't broken, it's just running a more complex operating system. Let's continue with sign number 4. Number 4, you feel older than your age, and always have. When you were 10, you felt 25. When you were 25, you felt 40. And now, you feel like an ancient soul trapped in a body that still gets carded at bars. This isn't just being mature for your age. This is a documented phenomenon called old soul syndrome, and it's linked to specific personality types that make up less than 4% of the population. These individuals often report feeling disconnected from their peer groups throughout childhood, preferring the company of adults or older individuals, and having interests that seemed, well, too serious for their age. The psychological explanation? Your brain developed certain cognitive and emotional capacities earlier than typical, creating a persistent sense of being out of sync with your chronological age. The spiritual explanation? You've been here before. I'll let you decide which one resonates. But either way, if you've spent your whole life feeling like you're waiting for everyone else to catch up, this might be why. Sign number 3. Number 3, you need alone time like others need oxygen. Introverts need alone time. That's common knowledge. But this is different. You don't just prefer solitude, you require it. Without enough time completely alone, you feel physically unwell, irritable, foggy, like your soul is being compressed. This goes beyond introversion into high stimulus sensitivity combined with deep processing traits. Your brain processes everything more thoroughly. Every conversation, every interaction gets analyzed deeply. It's amazing for creativity, but your mental RAM fills up so much faster. Solitude isn't antisocial for you, it's defragmenting your mental hard drive. Studies suggest 15 to 20% of people have this trait, but at extreme levels, we're talking 2 to 3%. So no, you're not broken for needing 3 days to recover from a weekend trip. Your brain just works harder than most. Sign number 2. Number 2, you see patterns everyone else misses. You notice when someone's behavior slightly changes. You spot inconsistencies in stories. You see connections others just dismiss as coincidence. This isn't paranoia. This is pattern recognition at an unusually high level. Rare personality types score exceptionally high on pattern recognition, identifying relationships, predicting outcomes, seeing the bigger picture when others are just focused on the pieces. This is why you know how situations will play out, why you can read people within minutes, why life sometimes feels like a movie you've already seen. The downside, your brain occasionally connects dots that shouldn't be connected. But throughout history, the world changers were the pattern seers, the scientists, the artists, the visionaries. Trust your pattern recognition more, even when people tell you you're overthinking. Sign number 1. Number 1, you feel like you're meant for something, but you don't know what. This is the big one. You have this persistent, nagging feeling that you're supposed to do something, be something, a purpose undiscovered, a mission unstarted, a potential that's still locked. It's not ego. It's this quiet knowing that whispers, "Not yet," every single time you try to settle for ordinary. Psychologists call this purpose anxiety, feeling destined for significance without a clear path. Here's what nobody tells you. This feeling is rare. Most people are genuinely content with stability and modest goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But your brain will not let you be satisfied with good enough. This is the blessing and the burden of a rare personality. You will never be content with mediocrity. Always searching, always growing, always reaching for more. So, How many of these signs did you recognize? If it was most of them, then congratulations, you're statistically unusual. You're part of a small percentage of humans whose brains work differently than the majority. And I know that can feel lonely sometimes, like you're speaking a language nobody else understands. But here's what I want you to remember. Every major breakthrough in human history came from someone who thought differently, who saw what others couldn't, who felt that persistent pull towards something greater. Your rare personality isn't a bug, it's a feature. Now go do something with it. If this made you feel seen, smash that subscribe button, because clearly, you're my people.